Welcome to today's English listening practice story. This is a Level 3 English story called The Angry Wife. Vocabulary Preview. Before we begin today's story, here are a few words you will hear. Janitor. A person whose job is to clean and take care of a building. Embarrassed. Feeling ashamed or shy about something. Collapse. To fall down suddenly because of illness or weakness. Sacrifice. To give up something important for someone else. Appreciate. To recognize the value of someone or something. To be grateful. Now that you know the key words, let's begin our story. My name is Sarah. I am 32 years old. I have been married to Michael for 6 years. He is 34 years old. He is my husband. Michael is a good man. He is gentle. He is caring. He never yells at me. He never hurts me. When I am sick, he stays awake all night. When I am sad, he holds my hand. When I cry, he listens. He tells me, "Everything will be okay, Sarah. I am here." Michael works as a school janitor. He cleans classrooms. He mops floors. He fixes broken desks and chairs. He earns $2,500 every month. He works from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. He comes home tired. His hands smell like cleaning soap. His back hurts from bending all day. But he never complains. He just smiles and says, "At least I have a job." I work at a bank. I am a manager. I wear nice clothes to work. I sit in an office with air conditioning. I earn $6,000 every month. I worked hard for this position. I studied finance in college. I took extra training courses. I stayed late at the office many nights. I am proud of my success, but slowly I started to feel something else. I started to feel ashamed of Michael. It started small. One day, my coworker Lisa asked me, "What does your husband do?" I hesitated. I said, "He works at a school." I didn't say he was a janitor. I was too embarrassed. Lisa smiled and said, "Oh, is he a teacher?" I nodded. I lied. I felt guilty, but I also felt relieved. Another time, we went to a company dinner. All my colleagues brought their husbands. There were doctors, lawyers, business owners, and engineers. Then there was Michael. He wore his only good shirt. It was old, but clean. He tried his best to fit in. One man asked him, "What do you do, Michael?" Michael said honestly, "I am a janitor at Lincoln Elementary School." The man nodded politely, but I saw the look in his eyes, pity, maybe even judgment. I felt my face turn red. I felt angry. Not at the man, at Michael. Why couldn't he be something more? Why couldn't he have a better job? That night, I didn't talk to Michael on the drive home. He asked, "Are you okay, Sarah?" I said, "I'm fine." But I wasn't fine. I was angry. The anger grew day by day. I started comparing Michael to other men. My friend Amanda's husband owned a construction company. He bought her a new car for her birthday. My cousin's husband was a software engineer. He took his wife on vacations to Europe every year. What did Michael give me? A bouquet of flowers from the grocery store, a homemade card for my birthday, dinner at a cheap restaurant once a month. I wanted more. I felt like I deserved more. One evening, Michael came home from work. He was smiling. He said, "Sarah, I have good news. The school gave me a $200 raise. Now I earn $2,700 a month." He was so proud, but I felt nothing. I said, "That's it? Just $200? His smile faded. He looked confused. He said, "I thought you would be happy." I snapped. I said, "Happy? Michael, $200 doesn't change anything. You still earn less than half of what I earn. Do you know how embarrassing that is?" Michael stood there silently. His face looked hurt. He said quietly, "I work hard, Sarah. I do my best." I said, "Your best isn't good enough. Look at other men. They have careers, they have ambition, they provide for their families. What do? You clean toilets." The words came out like poison. I saw tears in Michael's eyes, but I didn't stop. I kept talking. "My friends' husbands buy them jewelry. They buy houses. They take vacations. What do you give me? Nothing." Michael's voice cracked. He said, "I give you everything I have, Sarah." I said coldly, "Then you don't have much." Michael didn't say anything else. He walked to the bedroom and closed the door. I heard him crying, but I didn't go to him. I was too angry, too proud. The next morning, Michael didn't talk to me. He made breakfast like always. He poured my coffee, he packed my lunch, but he didn't look at me. His eyes were red and swollen. I felt a little guilty, but I pushed the feeling away. I told myself I was right. He needed to hear the truth. Days passed. Michael became quieter. He stopped smiling. He stopped trying to make me laugh. He came home from work and went straight to the bedroom. He barely ate dinner. 1 week later, he told me, "Sarah, I found a second job. I will work as a security guard at night. I will earn $1,800 more every month." I should have been worried. I should have asked if he was okay. But instead, I said, "Good, it's about time." Michael started working 2 jobs. He left home at 5 a.m. He worked at the school until 4 p.m. Then he went directly to his security job. He worked from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. He came home at 2 a.m. He slept for 3 hours. Then he woke up and did it again. I barely saw him anymore. When I woke up, he was already gone. When I came home from work, the house was empty. When I went to bed, he wasn't there yet. But now he was giving me $4,500 every month. I finally had money to buy nice things. I bought new clothes, I bought expensive shoes, I went to fancy restaurants with my friends. I was happy, but Michael was disappearing. 2 months passed. One night, I woke up at 2:30 a.m. Michael still wasn't home. I called his phone, no answer. I called again, still no answer. I started to worry. I called his workplace. The manager said, "Michael left at 1 a.m. like always." Where was he? I waited by the door. 3 a.m., 4 a.m., still no Michael. At 5 a.m., my phone rang. It was a hospital. A nurse said, "Mrs. Sarah, your husband was brought here an hour ago. He collapsed on the street. Please come immediately." My heart stopped. I drove to the hospital as fast as I could. My hands were shaking. My mind was racing. When I arrived, a doctor met me. He said, "Your husband is stable now, but Mrs. Sarah, his body is severely exhausted. He hasn't been sleeping. He hasn't been eating properly. He collapsed from extreme fatigue. If he continues like this, he could have a heart attack." I felt like someone punched me in the stomach. I said, "Can I see him?" The doctor nodded. He led me to a room. Michael was lying in a hospital bed. His face was pale. His eyes were closed. He looked so tired, so weak. I sat beside him. I held his hand. It was cold. I started crying. I whispered, "Michael, I'm so sorry. Please wake up. Please." After a few minutes, Michael opened his eyes slowly. He saw me crying. He tried to smile. He said weakly, "Don't cry, Sarah. I'm okay." I sobbed. I said, "You're not okay. You collapsed. The doctor said you could die if you keep working like this." Michael said, "But you wanted me to earn more money. I was trying to make you happy." His words broke me. I cried harder. I said, "I don't care about money anymore. I just want you to be okay. I'm so sorry, Michael. I'm so sorry for everything I said." Michael squeezed my hand gently. He said, "It's okay, Sarah. I forgive you." But I didn't forgive myself. I realized what I had done. I had destroyed my husband. I had pushed him to the edge of death, all because I cared more about money than about him. The doctor told Michael to quit one of his jobs. He said, "You need rest. You need to take care of your health." Michael quit the security job. He went back to working only at the school. Our income dropped again, but this time I didn't complain. I was just grateful he was alive. After Michael came home from the hospital, I started seeing things differently. I watched him make breakfast every morning. I watched him iron his old work shirt carefully. I watched him pack a simple lunch, a sandwich and an apple. He never bought lunch at work. He always brought food from home. Why? To save money. For me. I looked at his shoes. They had holes in the bottom, but he never bought new ones. Why? To save money. For me. I opened his closet. He had only 5 shirts. 3 for work, 2 for weekends. All of them were old and faded. Why didn't he buy new clothes? To save money. For me. I checked our bank account. Every month, Michael sent $800 to his mother. She was sick. She needed medicine. He never told me about this. He just quietly sent the money and gave me the rest. I started crying again. How could I have been so blind? How could I have been so cruel? That evening, Michael came home from work. I had prepared dinner. I set the table nicely. I waited for him. When he walked in, I hugged him tightly. I said, "Thank you, Michael. Thank you for everything." He looked surprised. He said, "For what?" I said, "For being the best husband in the world, for working so hard, for sacrificing so much, for loving me even when I didn't deserve it." Michael's eyes filled with tears. He hugged me back. He said, "I love you, Sarah. I always will." That night, I made a decision. I would change. I would be the wife Michael deserved. I stopped buying expensive things. I stopped going to fancy restaurants. I stopped comparing Michael to other men. Instead, I started appreciating him. I thanked him for making breakfast. I complimented his hard work. I told him every day, "I am proud of you." I also started contributing more. I took over some bills. I bought groceries. I cooked dinner. I stopped expecting Michael to give me everything. Months passed, our life became simpler, but it also became happier. We laughed together again. We talked about our day. We watched movies on weekends. We held hands when we walked. One day, I told Michael, "I'm sorry I made you feel small. You are not small. You are the biggest man I know." Michael smiled. He said, "And you are the strongest woman I know. We are a team, Sarah. We always were." I realized something important that day. A good husband is not measured by his salary. He is not measured by his job title. He is not measured by what he can buy. A good husband is measured by his character, by his love, by his sacrifices, by his faithfulness. Michael was all of those things. He still is. Today, Michael still works as a school janitor. He still earns $2,700 a month. He still comes home with tired feet and soap-smelling hands. But now, when people ask me, "What does your husband do?" I say proudly, "He is a janitor, and he is the best man I know." I don't care what others think anymore. I don't care about fancy cars or designer bags. I don't care about impressing people. I only care about Michael. And that is enough. That is more than enough. Thank you for listening to this story. If you liked it, please like the video, share it, and subscribe to the Story Reading in English channel. Your support helps more stories reach people like you. With every story, our English gets better and our hearts get stronger.